Hey, what's up, guys? So I figured I would do a quick video just kind of talking about Apoc Ravi and I think how she's performing and just kind of, how to build her in different builds and how to draft those different builds and etc. We're just going to talk about Apoc Ravi for a little bit. So let me get into my hero things here as soon as we load in. RIP Corpus, and we have Apoc Ravi. So I've actually changed her off of the 30k HP build because I wanted to try a higher damage, more aggressive build on her, and that's this build right now. I'm waiting for the friendship to make her plus 15. I think this is really helpful. I could just go ahead and get the mullah back, but just kind of waiting. This is the build I'm going right now, and I'm still opting to use Azure Comet. I'm actually really liking Azure Comet on her because it, one of the big benefits of her kit right now is this, right? Her S3. And, there's some really high damage threats you can pair her with. I'll pair her with my Pavel, for example. And, and I'll pair her with my Angelica as well. So there's just, typically when I'm drafting Apoc Ravi, either... I will draft her in really slow matches as well. I can actually show you an example in my history where I drafted her into a really slow match.
This sword is the only thing in this world I trust.
Jesus. That kind of screwed up my sound a little bit. But, yeah, the sound's kind of bugged out now because of how loud that got. That was weird. But going to the battle log here, was it this guy? No. This guy. No. Who was it? This guy. Yeah. I just did full condom. And drafted Apoc Ravi. And I think he just saw... Because he stood a chance here. I still had to go through all of these, right? To get to the S10. But he saw how hard my Ravi was hitting. And he just gave up. Because he knew I would probably make it to her, right? I don't know why this shit's making this fuzzy noise right now. I'll just turn it down even more. But, yeah. So he just gave up. But you can draft her in a slower draft like this. Stinny is an issue. But if they don't have any sustain, I got rid of the sustain here, right? Then, yeah, I'm just going to mow through this team. And with how much defense I got here, I got 2 invincible buffs, and I have made protection. It's very hard for him to get through. Yeah. And even with the guiding light on Landy, I can just knock her out with this, and then hit her with a giant S3 or a Soulburned S1, right? And she just dies. So he just kind of gave up. But you can draft her in those kind of drafts as well. The way people were using Apoc Ravi before she got buffed was as an anti-cleave on Azure Comet. They were building her 240 speed. They were letting the Pavel go. Pavel was deleting something, and then Apoc Ravi would get the CR push and then instantly kill Pavel and res, right? I still kind of use her that way. I do draft her in anti-cleave. I did more so with the 30k build, which I will show here in a second. I'll move the gear around and just kind of show you different builds. I think this is the most popular build right now. Most Apoc Ravis I see, they're built like this. And usually they're on Crimson Seed. I don't even have a leveled up Crimson Seed on my account. I have one max limit broken from the first time it was in rotation, during the old school events where you actually farmed them. I don't know how many I farmed, but I do know I have one in here somewhere. Yeah, I have it right here. It's just sitting on Cartusia right now, but I haven't leveled it up yet. I do think Crimson Seed is really good against her. Thing is, I'm pretty sure it's still orange. I think it's what's... I have no idea what the max limit break is. Actually, I have no idea what the max chance is. Is it 75 or something? Okay, it goes up to 45 here. 52. I'm guessing it gets up pretty high. I'm not going to use these charms on it, but if it goes up to 100, then that's great. I don't think it does. I think it starts at 30, right? And when it goes up 8.5 every level. Maybe it does go to 100. I don't know. I'm not using it right now, but I do think it's very good. Units that just do a single target stun, like S10 and stuff like that, it'll just instantly remove the stun. Like Angelica, when she bops with the S1, it'll instantly remove the silence. I think Crimson Seed is very good on her. I'm probably going to try a Crimson Seed build. Maybe Crimson Seed is a little bit better on counter as well. But like, this is just the build I'm running right now. I don't draft her, you know, every single game, but there are some games where like a Ravi is just a good mid to late game pick. You don't want to really pick her early because that's how you're just going to get LQC drafted into you, right? And with this build, she does get one shot by LQC. But this is just a aggressive, high damage build. I feel like pin set is just kind of needed on her to really pump the damage that you want. Pin set's really good on her. But I'll go ahead and show you my 30k build because I know people were interested in seeing it because I was using the 30k build in the last video that I was doing, or the last video that I uploaded before this one. So basically I rolled this pin set neck, and this is what made me want to put a Ravi on pin set in the first place, is because I rolled this crazy ass neck right here. Right. Figured it would be absolutely insane on her. But these are the only two pieces I changed. And then, let me see. It's a crit speed set helm. Is that it right there? No. Where is it? This one? Yeah, this one's got fat health on it, right? So it was this one. And what else? I think I had... No, I think this might be the... Was this the weapon? Oh, she's on speed boots right now. I wasn't wearing speed boots. So this is another build option, right? This one's pretty good. She loses some crit dam. This is kind of like the first build I was using on her. I was using Draco Plate to kind of make up for the crit damage, and it would give her more tankiness. I think Draco Plate's very good on her as well. But the main stat, I use HP boots, which are these ones. She's just holding them right now. But this was my 30k build. And I was still using the comment because I really lack the crit. It gives the crit that she needs to, you know, have 100%. And I liked this build because, like, she would survive Watcher Shuris, you know, in cleaves. And it would really, like, surprise people. Like, this next to an Arius, like, there's not many units that can one-shot her. Not with these stats. Strays still can. But the way I have this set up, for example, like with her having this much HP, even on my 26k, 27k build, she has less HP than my Crow does. So like I would draft it into strays, and then I have the damage share to where she wouldn't die. Because see, this is her health. My Crow's kind of gimped right now because I don't draft him as much. But like you see, my Crow obviously has way less health. And I can actually, like, the build I was using before, I gave his boots, I think, to Maid. But he had these boots on originally, and he had a different neck as well that I think I gave to someone else. I think it was... Where is it at? Was it? It's this one. Yeah, so this was my Crow before, right? This is a pretty good Crow. You can tell I've just kind of gimped the stats. I don't really draft FCC as much, but this is just like crazy neck, right? It's really good. But yeah, like at the 26, and then I have the imprints to consider too, right? So his team health print would go to my Ravi, and then she has one as well for about the same amount of health, and I would give it to him. And she would just always have the most health, so that when strays would hit her, I would still get the damage share. She wouldn't die. And obviously she has better attack than Crow does. Not necessarily 100% pin. With attack buff, I would still die. So typically if I drafted into that, I would ban the attack buffer. If there was 2 attack buffers, then I just banned strays, right? So that's kind of how I did that. And then to show off like a good counter build, I think pin set is just kind of needed. If you don't have pin set, then run immunity. Probably is the next best, and then crit set. But I think it's really pin set to get the damage that you want, to be honest. I think she just needs pin set. For a counter build, it would probably be me just sticking my Landy's gear on her, mostly. Let me see. We can kind of build a good counter one together here. What am I doing? Max enhance. Or maybe some of my Mort's gear. So like this is good. Probably be a lot of my Mort's gear actually. I still want to keep the pin set. So I just got to figure out what pin set pieces I want, right? I think her chest piece is really good for her. Thing is, like, I think being on counter, you don't really want to be base speed still. So I think these are the only counter boots that I have that are decent. And I don't have any pin boots, so I have to use these. Then for ring, I don't have any good health main stat rings. So that kind of makes it a little awkward as well. So I probably would have to use, since this one has a fat crit damage sub on it, I would probably have to change my neck to the pin set neck that I have with the HP. I still have good crit dam, even running, like this is almost 300 crit damage here, right? And it's a HP main neck. Like, that's actually kind of cracked. And then we need to make up this crit. Her chest piece has no crit on it. Neither does her helm. So we're going to need to look for a counter set piece here with crit, right? So I do have this piece, which isn't bad for her, but the effectiveness is useless. This one's kind of okay as well, but she's still really kind of lacking crit. Like, this might be like an Elinsonox's Wrath kind of build, or a Hellcutter build. Thing is, on counter, if you're running Hellcutter and you just counter, you lose your stacks, right? So I think this is more of like a Elinsonox's Wrath kind of build. But to keep this, but I could also, let me see what else I can work in here. So I do have other pin set pieces. I do have this one. It's got a little bit of crit on it, right? And then we can go check the chest piece. I can use this one too. It has crit on it instead of all this crit damage. So that's another option, but let's check out the counter. I know I have way more counter chest piece options. Like, I do have this one here. That's on my rim that gives 20% crit. And then this one that gives 16. So we could go with this. Still, crit is kind of low, right? So this is kind of like the hard part in running counters, like especially counter pin, because you're not getting any bonus stats out of your set at all. You're not getting speed. You're not getting crit. You're not getting, you know, anything, right? So it's pin set and counter set. You just need crazy gear. These are good stats for a counter. I'm just lacking a bit of crit, right? So maybe if I like, I could reforge crit in here, so that would be another 5%. I have crit there already. I could put crit here instead of crit damage, right? And then I could still run this probably on a Zercomet. But I think running slower, like, you're more subject to getting hit with debuffs, so it probably is better to run Crimson Seed, right? But yeah, this is, I think, like an ideal counter build. 180 speed on counter is really good, especially with these defensive stats and this crit damage. I think this is a really good build. If this had, like, if this was crit capped, like, this would be an insane Ravi. Like, and this helmet isn't even reforged, right? So let's check a couple more things. Like, I do have that other pin set that had crit on it, so we can run this one, and this isn't reforged. I lose a bit of defense here, and then we can go back to the helm, go counter, and then see if we can get more crit here. So we do have this one. This would be ideal, right, on a Zercomet. Puts her right at 99% crit. So this could work. I don't like the fact that I have effectiveness on this helm, so maybe do something like this, but then it's too low, right? So it's just finicky. Could just opt to go with immunity instead of pin, but I think pin is needed, right? So those are kind of the A-Ravi builds. I have seen some Hellcutter builds, so you could run like my my 30k one, for example, on a Hellcutter, and maybe run higher attack, because her attack scaling isn't bad. Like, having decent attack on A-Ravi, like, makes her hit considerably harder, right? So if we have like the main stat, health percent, so this one's right, yeah. And then we go back to the pin set neck, and then back to the crit helm, which is here, right? Do have this one too, but Yeah, running this on like a Hellcutter type build, and then maybe getting more attack in here somehow. I don't know how I would do that. Maybe we have main stat attack boots that are not shit. I could put health on these, right? This is max crit. Running Hellcutter, you don't really want to do that, right? Maybe these ones. So, yeah, this is like a more of a Hellcutter angle, right? So, like, you're actually benefiting from the crit. She's got fat health. I might actually want to try this. This seems like it's going to hit hard as fuck. We could even drop a little bit more crit off the helm, possibly. So if we go to the helm and we go, let's look for some more crit dam in the helm. Like this one. Like this Ravi is going to hit hard as fuck. Like hard as fuck. And then I don't even know, maybe we can get more out of the weapon. Like I do have this weapon too. Yeah. 150, I think this is a little slow. I like the 160. Like this is actually a decent Hellcutter build if you want to try Hellcutter. Granted, you're gonna need some cleanse for her, and you're gonna probably want to get immunity on her somehow. So maybe like you run this with like a Ras, right? And you get the S2 off, you give her immunity, and then have a cleanser with her as well, like a melee. You boost into her. But this is a Ravi is gonna hit very fucking hard. So yeah, this is like a Ravi in a nutshell, I guess, guys. So if you guys are wondering how to build, I just gave you several options. See what you got for your gear, and yeah, she's a really fun unit. She's one of my favorite units in the game. I'm gonna make her my rep again. But let me know what you guys think. If there's any other units that you guys want to see me go through, I like going through and just like showing gear on different units. I think I've done these videos in the past just to kind of show like how I would build certain units with my gear. If you guys want to see any other units, let me know down below and I'll see what I can show you guys. If you want to see me actually using a Ravi, just check my previous video. Once this video ends, it'll literally be in the end screen. It'll say previous video and it'll have an arrow pointing to it, so you can reference that one. That's where I was using the 30k HP A Ravi. And then of course I'll be doing future RT videos where I'll show probably this build. And I might try a Hellcutter build too. You know, I want to try all different kinds of builds. So if I do a Hellcutter specific build, I'll probably just be like, oh my god, Hellcutter A Ravi owns or something on a thumbnail, and then you guys will click it, and yeah. And that's how that'll go. So yeah, thanks for watching. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll catch you guys down in the comments. Peace.
Fuck.